Hey, 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 what's going on, FaceBoxers? It's me and Hellboy Ryan Bithell here. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
It's all right.
Thank you very much.
How are you feeling after your performance on Friday?
Yeah, really well, yeah. Nice and fresh. It was actually nice to not get hit with a single punch. Come out fresh. Nice, good, clean, solid round, but I just didn't feel like I could really show my talent off.
Right.
Just started to get the feel of him. And then obviously it pulled out with his shoulder, but I wouldn't say that was always the case, but if he did, he did. And I hope he's okay. I hope he's recovered very well.
Yeah.
We'll assess it from there.
Could you give the audience a bit more of an inkling of to where you were fighting and what everything that happened?
Say that again, sorry.
Could you give the audience a bit more of an inkling into where it happened? So we were in Stoke and the event itself.
Yeah, we're at Fenton Manor in Stoke.
Yeah.
It was on the 5th. Was it the 5th or the 4th?
It was last Friday, so it was about.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was last Friday, about 6 days ago. It was
too many.
6 days ago. It was with Impact Boxing. Jamie was headlining. You were on the undercard. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're with Impact Boxing now. Let's go back in time a bit. How did you begin your career in boxing?
Well, I was textbook childhood. I was about 7 years old, and I was watching Rocky.
Yeah.
And I was like, that looks meant, that does. I said to Dad, "Hey, Dad, can I go boxing?" He says, "Why do you want to go boxing?" And my dad never said anything about it. He did a little bit. He did a little bit before. I think he had one professional fight. Because my brother, he wanted to box. My dad was a firm believer as I've got to do it myself before I can teach my kids.
Right.
So he did. He boxed really well, jabbed his nut off, and then he took my oldest brother, but he didn't stick at it. But we went to the gym when I was 7, and they said, "Oh, you can't start till you're 10." So my dad was like, "Right, okay, well, I won't say anything about it because 3 years' time, when you're 7 years old, you're gonna forget. You want to do this, that, and the other, don't you?
Yeah.
You want to be an astronaut at one point." And then I got to 10, and it was like textbook out of film. I blew my candle out on my 10th birthday, and as soon as I blew it out, I went, "Dad, can I go boxing now?" And that was it then. I went,
cool.
Kicked back into it, and then
so it's always been in your heart. Sorry, it's always been in your heart. It's been an internal desire of something that you've wanted to do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's all I've got really, mate. And myself and my own identity.
So it's your passion.
Yeah, I love it, mate. I think having the time out when I was older, and obviously my kids and that, I think it did me good because I had to get a lot of wisdom very quick. I had to grow up very quick.
Yeah.
So now I've still got the youth and the stamina, but I've got the knowledge as well.
Yeah.
So I've got all the aspects molded into one.
Right. Okay.
So it works pretty good.
Do you have like a healthy balance with your family and the boxing then? So you're saying it's your thing?
Yeah, I do my best to balance everything out now. I used to prioritize only the boxing.
Yeah.
And it did used to cause tension. But you get older, you learn a bit more, and you can sort of manage your time a bit better. So I'll make sure it's so textbook, and the timing I have within my training, and sometimes, well, every time I'm at work, everybody has an half an hour break at dinner, and I go straight out and do a 3-mile run on my dinner, just so I can get my cardio in, just so I can get it in. My time has to be so crucial, just so I can't miss any small detail.
Right.
I've got to be spot on all the time.
Okay. you work 12 hours a day, so welding is your trade, your main profession. Would you ever like to have boxing as your sole source of income?
Yeah, I would. Don't get me wrong, mate. If I could do this as for a living,
yeah,
I'd love it.
Yeah.
But I've had to make sure I don't get in my head about thinking that's an escape from what I'm doing right now.
Right, okay.
That makes sense.
It does.
I do enjoy my job, but I got to a point where I wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because I was too fixated on the boxing.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, you know what? No, I'll just go with the flow, enjoy it. So I said to the lads on the fight night, I goes, you know what? Fight day is the only day I'm not stressed and I'm fine. I'm in my element.
Right, okay. Interesting.
Weird. It's like I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. I think it's like taking you away from the norm, the daily grind, blah, blah, blah. It's something that you get to live for. It's like what people do in football, you know, working class lads, they'll just look forward to the weekend. But like your niche is boxing. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
I can't be one of them people who just like say live for the weekend or live for going out on Friday nights, Saturday nights. I can't be one of them people.
Right. What has your lifestyle changed since you've turned professional and now you're having a family? Congratulations for your lady, by the way. She looks heavily pregnant.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't do the interview, because I didn't want. I was to my dad. I was like, "Oh, shall I go get him?" And he's like, "He's a bit busy." So I didn't want. You know what I mean? But yeah.
You only have had to tap me, mate. I completely forgot because obviously with her being heavily pregnant, she's like, "Oh, where's the toilet?"
Yeah.
And then you collared me. I went, "Oh, mate, let me just go take her quick."
I know.
And then I had every Dick and Harry try and grab me.
But for me,
thanks for that.
It's all right. For me as well, I have to have a certain etiquette about it, because I'm coming in there and no one really knows me, and I'm trying to build a rapport with you fighters. And like, anyway, that's the way I felt about it. I wanted to do a bit, but I didn't want to walk around like I own the place, like Coon Cassius or something. So
yeah,
that's what I was doing. When are you planning on coming out next? And have you been back in the gym since your fight?
Yeah, I had a lot of calories Saturday and Sunday, and then I was straight back on it Monday.
Right, okay.
Because I've got a fight on the 25th of March. I've got a fight in Doncaster on the 25th of March.
Yeah.
And then I've also got one in Birmingham on the 2nd of April.
Right, so you're racking them up.
Yeah, so it's the following week.
And who are these against? Have you got an opponent yet? Or
not sure. I probably do have a name.
Yeah.
And I probably could look at him, but I don't. It's just a man with a pair of gloves.
Right, so you're not bothered?
No, I'm not bothered at all. I've got
like Eminem in 8 Mile when he goes and does. You ever watch that film?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't give a fuck, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, you understand. Right, okay. It's the mentality of a boxer going in blindfolded. You don't care, it's do or die kind of thing. With these two fights that you've got coming up, what promotional banner are you under? Because I'm learning on the job myself, I'm not sure. I know you're at Impact Boxing, but do you have different organisations you like to go with, or what's the deal?
What do you mean by that?
Your home base is Impact Boxing, where you fight out of. All these shows, what promotional banner are they under, or is it different, or what?
Our home promotions, Carl Greaves promotes ours.
Right, what's that called?
It's called Carl Greaves Promotions.
All right, understood. And they are the ones that you're going to be on fighting for in the next 2 fights?
No, I'm obviously fighting under Scott's management. But
right, okay.
Carl Greaves is the main promoter. That's promotes. So obviously Scott's the manager.
Right, okay, understood.
So Carl Greaves is the next one up.
Right, okay, got you. And give me some more of an insight of the day of life in Impact Gym. How many times do you go? What do you do?
I just go as and when I can. I used to go every day, but I mix and match it now.
Right, okay.
Also, because I mix and match it, I do little things for my kids. Like I take my kids jiu-jitsu on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then I take my daughter ballet on a Thursday. So it gives me them 2 days away. But because I'm on shift patterns, sometimes if I'm not in on a Wednesday and a Thursday, I'll go in about dinner time and do some pads with Scott.
Okay.
So like I said, any opportunity I can get, I'm in the gym. But I've got to make sure that I'll do a hard training session one day, and then the next day, don't go there, do a bit of cardio, something like round specific, instead of like just doing a steady 7-mile run. You've got to do something that's sort of like fast paced, like fast, steady. Just get your body into that pattern, get your conditioning up.
Right. On the Sundays, then, is that just professionals at the 10 a.m.? I'm trying to get Super Sunday sparring or whatever.
It's a bit of both.
Right. Okay.
My weekends, I'm working on weekends at the minute, so my shift patterns are falling on the weekends. So I'm not in on the Sundays because I was supposed to have some sparring in tomorrow. I said to Scott, "Oh, I can't, mate. I'm working. It's like I'm at work now, just on my break."
Yeah.
But yeah, they do professional, like mainly in the ring.
Yeah.
And then they do the other lads outside the ring.
Right. Okay. I've seen that.
Just a little bit of warming up.
When I was speaking to Jamie though, I was asking him, when you spar, do you go in as hard as you would when you're in fight day itself, or do you take it back a bit, or what?
It depends on who you're sparring.
What if you like them or not?
No. I think that since this year, since James Hughes has come, and obviously Kyle's back, Kyle's here now, Kyle Davies.
Yeah.
Since James Hughes has come, I can actually put a bit about in my punches. Like I've been holding back because I've been sparring smaller lads.
Yeah.
So subconsciously, I've been holding back on my power, not letting my left hand go.
Yeah.
And if I spar people who are smaller than me, I'll start to become jab dominant, and I won't throw my left hand, because if I throw my left hand, I'm throwing it with force, and I don't want to like sort of beat up someone smaller because I'll feel a bit crap.
Yeah, it's understandable, and that they're your own stable of fighters at the same time as well, aren't they?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good mindset to spar someone you know and you get on with friendly, and then as soon as the ball goes, you just I'm going to kill you, and that, not literally, but you know what I mean.
Is there a pecking order in the gym itself with fighters? You know, like the king of the ring. Like he's the hardest, he's the second hardest. You know, like in high school kind of thing.
I'd say the hardest right hand is Kyle Davies's.
Kyle Davies, right? Okay.
Yeah, and the best body shotter is Scott's lad Lewis.
Jamie was saying about him. He's saying he's an animal kind of thing.
17.
I know. Yeah.
I'm bigger than him, and sometimes like I'll spar him and I'll have to man him up a bit, just use a bit of a man force on him.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, wait till he gets man strength. Hopefully I'll retire by then.
His name's Bugley. He's like England champion or something now, isn't he? 'Cause I saw it all.
Yeah, national champion. Yeah.
So what are all the boys?
Impeccable.
Is he? Right. Sorry, go on.
He's amazing.
I saw there's the Three Musketeers, and then there's the Lewis as well. You like all the boys who spar each other all the time. I'm getting feel for it.
Yeah, it was. Like I say, it's all good fun. We all have a laugh, and then we go in the ring and we like kill each other.
Quality. And what about Roland? He's got this comparison to Deontay Wilder, knockout artist or whatever.
Oh, just a bit of banter, that is basically. Yeah, he fought some lads. I did pads with him before he went in. Oh, I'm gone. Just give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
The sensor's gone on the lights.
All right.
Well, we're back.
Wee.
Yeah, I did some pads with him, got him warmed up, and then he jumped in. And I think lad was only about 20.
Yeah.
And he come in, giving it rolling some, and I think he got a bit complacent. His hands were dropped, and Roland just come in with a big right hand, bang, flattened him. You heard it coming. You heard it a mile away.
Bloody hell. Did he ever come back to the gym?
I'm not sure. I don't know if he.
I'm not going there again.
I don't know if he comes on different times.
All right, okay. So ducks rolling from now on.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some more general topics to get a bit of the vibe of 2022, and we can be specific about what you'd like to talk about. But with everything going on in Ukraine at the minute, what's your opinion of Usyk and Vladimir sticking up for the country? What do you think about that?
I'm not really a politics person.
All right, fair enough. Right, not interested in that. What about all of the governing bodies not letting Russians fight for world title fights? We don't want to talk about that either.
It's like a tit for tat thing, isn't it? Really, that. It's like, it's my ball, you're not having it, isn't it? Sort of thing.
Right. Okay.
I can understand in some way, but like I say, I'm no expert, so my opinion's completely irrelevant.
Right. Okay. With now, do you think we'll ever get the dream fight between Fury and Joshua, or do you think that's game over now?
Do you know? I tried to get a ticket for Watch Fury.
Yeah.
Fury versus White, and within 20 minutes they sold out, and the other ones that were left, they were like 300 odd quid, and I was like, paying that. And, so I sent Scott a message saying, "Look, if there's any light heavyweight lads on that undercard, I'll fight him. I'll offer just so I can get a free ticket."
Oh, so you'd fight on the card for it?
I would, yeah, and I would.
Yeah.
Right.
But so does Scott get lads on the cards of events like that? I was thinking, yeah, because Jamie fought Matchroom, didn't he, on the undercard of Joshua?
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
I just think it's pot luck in a way. There's obviously a lot of lads wanting the same thing, so you pick them carefully, don't they?
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, we went off topic.
Go on.
So, Fury, White.
Yeah.
It's one of them. I don't know if it'll be Fury's last fight. I reckon he's just saying that to get more people going, "Oh, I'm going to have to get a ticket now." Yeah. You know what I mean? Bit of politics. But I've always wound Scott Lawton up about Joshua, saying he's a bit of a has-been. I've not not rated him in some cases, but
Joshua's a has-been.
He's good.
Why is Scott a Joshua fan? I'm trying to gauge
he's a massive Joshua fan.
Is he? Right, and not Fury. Yeah. Right, okay.
No. But before Joshua fought Ruiz, I said to Scott, I goes, "I'm telling you now, Scott, he'll stop him." And he did. And I went, "Well, did you?"
You don't, mate. I've written essays on that fight, but I'll keep it to myself because you won't agree with me, but it doesn't matter. No. Go on.
Go on, sorry.
Go on, sorry, I'm listening.
I think Joshua had an anxiety attack before he went in.
I think he was. I think there was. He won a right anyway. I think he was concussed before the fight. That was my opinion. No.
Yeah.
That was my opinion. There's loads of conspiracy theories, though, isn't there? But ever since he has got the titles, he's become more gun shy, and he wants to protect his belts, basically. So he hasn't got that stay hungry kind of thing still in it. But I don't know. Now he's lost. He might be fighting Joe Joyce now, and that might be even better for him. It might bring the eye of the tiger back in him because he's waiting for Usyk to do his thing. He might actually have a good go at him. But who are your favourite prize fighters? Like the big names, who do you like? Who do you aspire to be? Or who do you get kicks off?
I love Canelo. Absolutely love Canelo. He's so good.
Yeah.
Like, Canelo's the only person I'll actually stay up late to watch.
Yeah.
Like, anybody else, I'm like, I need to make sure I get my sleep. Gets to 9:30, mate, and I'm like, I'm pushing it to you. I need to go to bed.
I've changed my opinion of Canelo because I always used to be, oh no, he's ruined Gigi's career, because he's the cash cow or whatever. But when you see, he's a different level, isn't he? And any British fighter he comes to fight, he's just going to take him out. All right, Canelo versus Bithell, that's been set. How do you think that'll go down?
I just think Canelo. I don't think anyone's at his level because it's the fact that Canelo's got everything he wants, and he's still a dominant, hungry fighter. Like it's the last thing he's got to do.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you give him.
Yeah.
He'll always have that hunger. He'll never go that fire. Nothing stops him. If anything, the more he gets, the more hungry he is.
Right.
People go off the back burner when they get some money.
Yeah, he doesn't. He keeps going.
Yeah, he's on.
If Mayweather fought Canelo both in the primes now, because I know he was young, how do you think that'd happen? You think he'd have a chance?
Yeah, Canelo would have him.
You do? Right. Okay.
Yeah. Mayweather fought him at the right time.
Yeah.
He definitely fought him at the right time. Calzaghe fought Jones Jr. at the right time.
Yeah.
Jones Jr. was like unreal.
Yeah.
Calzaghe's a favourite fighter of mine as well, but he fought him at the right time.
Yeah.
They always fight people at the right time.
With Calzaghe, if you look at his career, he did it perfectly. I mean, he stayed in England long enough, and then he went for the dream right at the end of his career, and then he went and got the big belts. Who was it against? Hopkins and that other guy. Yeah, he did it right. I know. So, what other fights are you looking forward to seeing this year?
I'm excited to see the Fury one.
Yeah.
I'm obviously the Joshua Usyk is a bit on a back burner at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not as if it's one to go ahead at the minute.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one, that is. Oh. Who would you think would win that Usyk Joshua on the rematch?
You're interviewing me now.
I'm interviewing you now.
Oh no, the tale of the tape has changed. Honestly, I like both of them. I'm fans of both. I like you. Have you ever seen the film Leon with Usyk? Leon.
No.
All right.
No.
Usyk's like a psychotic guy, but if he's your mate, he'd always be loyal. I don't know. I've always liked Usyk, and mate, I used to be a Joshua fanboy. That's what got me into boxing. But I've kind of spread out through research and everything. But I'm not a fanboy anymore. Who do I think could win? Generally don't know. I think his only option, Joshua, he's got to go in, use his size advantage. He's got to be hungry, and he's got to go in bulldozing. I think that's the only way of him doing it. You can't outbox him, can you?
From day one.
That's his only chance.
He tried to box a boxer, whereas Joshua should have gone, well, I'm the big lad, right? I'm gonna maul you, I'm gonna bully you, beat you up.
He wanted to, though, because Joshua is obviously a very intelligent guy, but Usyk, he's got an IQ of like 150 or something. So, point. Yes, I heard that. So, yeah. But yeah. Hey, let's get some. If you're speaking to any lads or companies in Stoke out there, is there anything that you'd want to say for promotional wise or sponsorship?
I wouldn't mind some sponsorship, mate. I'm just a dad trying at the minute.
Yeah.
Trying to make a means for my kids, keep things on close. Yeah. I do train hard.
How can these local companies in Stoke directly get in touch with you if they're watching this right now? What do they do?
You can either contact me through Facebook.
Yeah.
Which Ryan Bithell.
Yeah.
My boxing channel, Ryan Hellboy Bithell. Same with my Instagram.
Yeah.
Drop me a message.
Yeah.
If anyone's interested. I do work hard. I train hard.
You work 12 hours a day.
Harder than most people.
Yeah. All right, Phil. Fair play. All right. Check it out, everybody. Get on with Hellboy. That's what I'm thinking. Weight issues. You were saying with boxing, it takes down your weight. Is that still an issue? Or go into it a bit.
I like my food.
Oh, right, okay.
When I had my son at 19.
Yeah.
And got with my partner when we were both young.
Yeah.
So you're getting that comfort pattern where you don't exercise, you're having takeaways every night. And I ended up ballooning up to nearly 18 stone.
Oh, yeah.
And I was smoking as well.
Yeah.
And then over the course of the years, like I quit smoking, stripped weight, got to about 14 stone, went smoking again, ballooned up again to about 16 and a half. And it just kept fluctuated. And before I turned over pro,
Yeah.
I quit smoking in the January.
Yeah.
New Year's Day, believe it or not, resolution day.
Yeah, actually do.
I quit in the January. March time, I went back to the amateurs and I said, right, I'll give it a year in the amateurs, because I went back and forth a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But the older you get in the amateurs, the more you get on the back step, because obviously you're older and you're not really in as much, so it gets a bit boring.
Yeah.
You've got to be a teenager. You've got to be in the schoolboys really to sort of get the attention. So I did one session and I thought, I sod this, I'm going pro. So I went to Scott and says, can I turn pro? And he looked at me and he went, keep coming in, I'll give you a couple of months. Yeah. And I was working nights at the time.
Yeah.
So I was working all night, 7:30 till 7. Getting in, having about 5 hours sleep, 5.5 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Training, get straight up, out the door, train for 2 hours. Then I'd pick my son up from school and then repeat the process.
Yeah.
I said to Scott, I'm thinking of being cruiserweight, because I was 14.4 at the time.
Right.
Scott's like, you're not cruiserweight, mate. I went, no, I'm all right. And then the following week, Rashawn Aylington, he come in and he's a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Scott says, he's a cruiserweight, right? And I went, yeah, no, I'm not cruiserweight.
Oh.
Massive.
Have you ever sparred a cruiserweight?
I sparred Rashawn, yeah.
Oh, so do you get on all right? Can you handle yourself against it all?
Yeah. He was.
Well, I'm just asking.
Sometimes I hit him with a combination, and I hit him good, and I caught him good. And the first thing I thought of me is, oh crap, he's going to come back. He's going to come back here even more now. Yeah. I don't think he went full on with me.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. But
right,
I remember one time he hit me with a right hand, and I went for duck to block it. Yeah. And at the same time, as I ducked, I moved into it, and he hit me, and I just heard my neck just crack. Yeah. I went home, and I just collapsed on the bed for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Me right in.
With boxing itself, then, do you think it should be on the national curriculum in schools? Because you're saying it gave you an impetus to something to do, something to strive to do, and it did very well for you. Do you think it should be in schools? And what is your opinion of the youths of Stoke getting involved in boxing?
I think it's so important for a man's bravado and ego and a kid to understand that you're not the hardest person on the planet. Stop going around like you're the hardest person on the planet. Go to any combat sport and just let off a bit of testosterone that way, because unless you teach that discipline to control your anger, like any combat sport, the discipline and resilience to control your anger. And kids these days, they don't know how to do it. So there's no respect in the outside world. Yeah. And if you've got that discipline in a sport, you implement it in the outside world then, and you've got more of a narrative and respect for like things around you, people around you. It just molds you into a better person.
Okay, so that's going on your own back, training, blah, 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 as a child to make your self-esteem better. But what about implementing it into schools? Is that no?
I definitely I think they should, yeah.
You should, right? Okay.
Yeah, it should be. The light's gone off again.
Right.
It should be a necessity, really,
But
because
I used to teach PE, and but what age would you bring it in though? Would you just have it in secondary schools, or would you have it in primary schools?
I would say secondary, yeah, because they obviously have.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Because the child's still developing, aren't they? But in
Yeah,
secondary, it got the thumbs up from me. That's what I thought. Yeah, go on, I'm listening.
you're not allowed to fight in an actual sanctioned boxing match till you're 11.
You're not, right?
No,
What
so
time did it?
that's why they should. And it has to be egg pods.
Yeah, sorry. Because you see some of these pictures of little kids boxing, and I'm just like, if I had a kid, in fact, with your children, how old would you let them before they start? Would you do your dad, you had to turn 10. How old would your children have to be before you'd let them glove up?
My lad's doing it now.
How old's
He's
he?
7. He's 7.
No. We're breaking the rules.
I think there's certain. I think we are maturing quicker.
Yeah.
In this day and age, through evolution,
Yeah.
We're a lot more tougher in some cases. Some people aren't. But I've gone off topic now, mate.
Right, go on, I'm listening.
What I was going to say.
Oh, we're talking about children boxing, developing.
Yeah, they do. If you're young, you don't do anything to the head. It's just the body.
Yeah.
Or just boxercise in general, just hitting the bags. But it learns anger control.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people naturally have higher testosterone levels, so they tend to be more aggressive and assertive because of the testosterone levels.
Yeah.
I was the same. I think that's why boxing helped me.
Oh. So is your lad at Impact now, doing at the age of 7 or whatever? So I've seen it, like they do know Impact, don't they, for like little kids?
Yeah, it does a bit. I don't try and drill it into his head.
Right.
Take your time with it. So I'll wait till he starts getting a bit missing it and hungry, and then I'll chuck him in again. Because if I keep drilling it in his head,
yeah,
by the time he is 10, he'll get bored of it.
Right. Okay.
So I'm taking my time with it.
Right. We're going on a bit of a personal tangent for me now, if that's okay, and it's to do with Impact Boxing. Like disability sport at Impact Boxing seems to be you've got a department for it. But me now, I was a former sportsman, and this is why I do FaceBoxers. I've got a disability in my feet now. I'll never be able to do it again. So that's why I do my sports reporting. But can you tell us a bit about that at Impact?
Yeah, they do. They help a lot of people with disabilities, sort of like strengthening plans. It's such a selfless, caring act.
Yeah.
Like I've obviously I follow the page on Facebook and I see some of the videos.
Yeah.
And it does touch my heart a bit because it's like just completely selfless and wanting someone to improve like that. It's really touching.
I know. That's why I really like Impact, because it's got the disability thing, and it's Stoke, and I like Impact Boxing now to be part of my FaceBox thing. For doing the deeper thinking thing, I like it to be a string of my bow kind of thing. And then, anyway, sorry, I'll shut up. I shall be asking the question. Shut up. What is there anything? We'll do a quick roundup now. We'll be going on for about half an hour. But is there anything else that you'd like to add to the interview for all of your 10,000 FaceBoxers watching? Maybe.
I haven't really got anything on the top of my head. I'm looking forward to the fights I've got coming up, and then we've got the home fight. I'm assuming it's the 6th of May. So let's hope that only goes one round by a knockout, not a pullout.
We didn't do the Hellboy thing. Tell them about how you got the moniker, the nom de plume Hellboy.
Oh, well, when I started boxing, obviously I went when I was 10. You couldn't go into the advanced class. I think it was till you were 11. I was the youngest person to go into the advanced class because of my power.
Yeah.
I was doing a bit of pads with my mate.
Yeah.
And I throw my right hooks, and it's like, Jesus Christ, your right hook's so powerful. And my dad's like, yeah, it's like the Hellboy. And that was it.
Quality.
That was it then.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I like Hellboy, and you've had it for a long time. So yeah, it definitely has stuck. Right,
15
Ryan.
16 years now.
It has stuck,
Yeah.
indeed. Right, Ryan, thank you very much for your time. It's been appreciated. Okay.
Been a pleasure, Will. Thank you.
Oh, no problems. Right, I'll do the. Hang on. Right,